A nightmare which showed me way to success. Eventually I got out of a naughty way to move in a restful manner, meanwhile giving a halt to hectic disillusionment walk. The path to be perused was chock-a-block of darkness, but abruptly the moon came up and showered its light on my access road. Subsequently, my eyeballs could see the encountering picture ahead as a misty light spontaneously focused on the thoroughfare. The trail seemed to be of less used one and solely was reflecting a horror effect as there were bare trees though the climate was chilled winter. The scene disappointed me as I supposed that once again I am going to catch 22 as customary. So the dreadful stance pushed me to soon get off the place, and so I set my weariness body in forward mode. The dry pale yellow leaves had also got in motion with me as if a bit of my restricted vim got transferred to them too. Absolutely. After 3 nasty paces I came across an old sturdy man, walking on the neighbor road. I summoned him on to assist me out with an address to city, but the man overlooked and went on without responding. I called him for the second time, but this time he gave me a glared look and answered with some offensive words. There is no address for the city, but the ways only leads to success. The old man's words made me wonder for hours, but I was still beating around the bush and couldn't get to the point. In that case I kick-started covering some more distances when I met an old greasy hand pump. Certainly I wasn't thirsty but was in need of clearing my messy look, so immediately I responded to the presence of water pump, but it was pretty much hard to operate it as it has been there without drawn into use since ages. However, it was a moment to cheer up, for I was successful in moving the handle up and down, but unfortunately water did not make any gesture. I spontaneously worked on pump for some more minutes, but yet there was no sign of water, so finally I fell apart and was in a mood of taking rest, so I counted on a nearby tree to confer me with shelter. The opted place was a bit grimy. Accordingly I was looking for broom kind of thing when I came across a heap of dried, fresh leaves. I carelessly disrupted the neatly drawn heap and came out with an eccentric massive leaf which was indeed not found in the area where I found it. But yet for a while I rummaged around to know if the tree was really situated around, but I was proved correct. That kind of species can't be grown in such a location. So I owned it to broom my place. After the act of clearing, when I was about to throw it, at that time an idea was born in my hectic mind for via the leaf into a self-entertaining work. Gradually I came up with an initiative of scripting an ode on the rarely found leaf. The thoughts started to flow. In fact, I was completely in the world of thoughts where I was put out of my mind about the actual world. Hours passed away. I felt like I got back to my mom and dad, but hastily a tremendous thunder drew me out of the thoughtful world. And unluckily I had to hurry up because the condition of weather reflected that it was going to rain. I was to look for a cottage or protective place, so I drew together all my belongings and set on for the destiny. Luckily, after covering up some miles, I got an aged cottage. It seemed to be dwelled by someone, as a dim beam of light was seen. Immediately I made my presence at the wooden door and knocked stridently. The door was opened by a fair young lady. I asked her if I could have a night's stay at her cottage for tonight. She instantaneously replied with a positive answer. The lady bid me to go for refreshment and then arrive on dining slab for a hot winter tea. Submitting to her polite words, I removed my bag and placed it on a table. After the healthy tea, I asked the pretty lady for the way to guest room for having a night, but I forgot my bag in the drawing room. I was just about to close the eyelids when a stormy wind hit the windows. and consequently the wind broke into the house and my bag kept downstairs fell on ground and leaf of epic flew to the lady standing near it. First the lady thought that it would be personal, but she knew that nobody records a personal thing on a leaf. And so she gazed at it. It said, "I'm lone in the misty chill darkness, why is it blown? To me the loneliness. Oh, my soul, far away from your goal, go get into the hole to perceive a boon." The next morning I thanked and requested the lady to just drop me to a nearby city in her very own car. We set out for the city and luckily got to one where she took me to a building named as Author's Destin. It seemed strange, but as I stepped out of the car a rush of media surrounded me with camera and was continually raising questions about the epic written by me on the leaf. I was knocked for six that where did they get my ode from, but soon the confusion left me and I found out that the helpful lady was a publisher and she read it last night and was impressed by it. Subsequently everyone was showering flowers on me when I felt something disgusting. In place of flowers there was bucket full of water in the hands of my mom, which she was pouring on me in the early morning to wake me up for usual dragging to the school. When I got up then I realized that